Apparently, that is a subject they don't want us talking about, right? Heaven forbid that you tell the truth. Anyways, so yeah, good times. So once again, if we have any interruptions with the stream moving forward, I will get right back as soon as I possibly can. And yeah, I was getting. It's a very difficult topic to talk about. To be honest with you, we'll talk about it a little bit more here. But just a reminder, if we have another interruption with the stream, that I'll get right back on as soon as I possibly can. So I apologize for that. I wish that would. Yes, I saw that too. How to video said, did the Epic Times report a reaction to the COVID-19 causing the victim's skin to peel off? I did see that 4 days after he got it. There's also the people up in I can't remember what state it was that they all got their and like everybody got the V after that. It was amazing. 104 people, I think, and 2 of them didn't make that. So yeah, crazy, right? It's supposed to be the end all be all. So yeah, Heather Parker, she goes, I swear they just won't leave you alone. It's just a big game. Just before the stream started, I had a drop in 10 subscribers. Boom, just like that. That happened too. I was like, oh, there you go. Good job, YouTube. So again, anytime, guys, if you are unsubscribed, if you're not getting notifications, definitely check. They may unsubscribe you. They may stop the notifications. Please keep an eye on that. And, that's definitely something to pay attention to. Okay. Because again, that's part of the things that they like to do. Uh, you know, it's bizarre, but that's the world we live in now, unfortunately. So, but anyhow, so yeah, so that's where. But getting back to my son, it's very, very difficult. Hey, Patriot James, thank you very much for the donation. Hurricane Rip, guess we can't talk about, yeah, right, COVID-19 more games. Apparently not. Thank you very much for the donation as well, and thanks for the statement. Yeah, it's just like I said, I have to be very, very careful, obviously, moving forward with what I say and what I talk about, just because I've gotten a strike and I don't want a second strike. Hey, Freddie left you. Jessica Eckerson from Lateville, New York, was a healthy 18. Oh, hold on a second. 18-year-old. She died after her third Gardasil HPV shot, totally healthy before her stories online. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. I've told my kids don't get that, or now they want boys to get it too, right? They want the boys to get it. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I told Heather don't get that either. So, like I said, some people have adverse reactions. All right, why would you take that chance? I mean, it's okay. So here's a great example. Okay, the entirety of last year, I was not sick last year at all, not one time. Now, the November before was the last time I was sick. It's almost a year and a half ago that I had like a flu bug, and I was down for like 2 weeks and kicking my butt, right? So I'm pretty healthy, Other than being a little fat, I'm pretty healthy. Why would I get something when I feel perfectly fine, when I haven't been sick at all, that if I get it, I can still get the other thing that you're supposedly getting it for. But then again, there also could be adverse reactions because I get it. Does that make any kind of sense? To me, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, 15 million Johnson & Johnson, they had to be recalled because of human error. Yep, I saw that as well. So, but so here's something to think about too. So I wanted to go back because somebody just mentioned the Suez Canal. They finally got the ship going. They got it unstuck and they got it going. But it does show how fragile that is, how quickly that could be blocked. If you had a determined enemy that decided that they wanted to play some games, go in there and sink a couple of ships and really make things difficult so you couldn't have passage through there. That could absolutely happen. And then you wouldn't be able to get in there and get things cleared out until whatever situation had been resolved, if it was done, militarily wise. So there's things to pay attention to with that as well. There is so many weird things going on, and so many things that we really do need to be paying attention to, and people are just not. They're just like just floating along, doing what they do. It is amazing to me. Yeah, we're going to do the egg count here shortly. I hadn't realized that it was already at 1:45 before they kicked off that one stream. So I wanted to wait till we got a few more people in here before we did the egg count, because we were at over 1,000 people in the chat when that happened. So, these things happen. So really quickly, if you have not shot a thumbs up already, we're up to 563 in the chat. We're at 204 in the thumbs up. I would ask you to shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel. So thank you ahead of time for doing that. Again, also, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So the more thumbs up, the better for that reason as well. Also, of course, the third reason is I like to see a lot of thumbs up. I'm going to be honest, it's part of the game. So, and once again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon as well to get all notifications. So we're going to do the egg count in a moment, but I want to mention really quickly my website, preppernurse1.com. We still have the sale going on right now for the Legacy freeze-dried foods, and that's going to continue until the 7th of April. Here it is, the last day of March already, which is amazing. But so 7th of April, the sale will end. It's a 20% off sale. So if you go to preppernurse1.com, you click on store, it will drop down. You'll see Legacy Foods. You click on that. It will take you to what we have available. If you decide to make a purchase, when you check out, 20% will come off automatically. So putting that out there for you guys ahead of time. And so just so you know, okay. Also on my website, we have the Forefathers, which is a CBD and hemp store. And they, CBD products are really, really good. They help with a lot of different things. So definitely take advantage of that as well. If you see their logo on my website, you click on it, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a purchase over there, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1 and you'll save yourself 15%. Okay. So a correction for yesterday, because I think I said because of all the upset and everything, that was only 6 eggs yesterday. I did go back out and find one more. So yesterday we had 7 eggs yesterday. So let's do our guess for today really quickly. How many eggs you guys think today? So we'll give you guys a minute to make your guesses. All right. Hold on one second here. All right. If you had the same guess, a lot of you had the right guess, is Delbert Jones. If you had the same exact guess as Delbert Jones with 10 eggs, that's where we were at today. So we ended up having 10 eggs today. So it was pretty cool. But no, I actually have 3 fake eggs in there, not 2. So, but yeah, it was a good day. Like I said, they've been pretty steady, even with the upset of yesterday. That I was very surprised we ended up with 7 eggs yesterday, but they definitely did good today. Now we have tomorrow, our forecast for tomorrow. They're calling for a possibility of up to 7 inches of snow up here, so that should be fun. It's going to be cold tomorrow. Friday, I think we're only going to be up to like 39. And then it gets back to being, regular temperatures again after that. But we will see what happens with that. I hope we don't get 7 inches of snow. Not looking forward to that in any way, shape, or form. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, but, the Great White North. Yep. Well, the Great White North is Canada. But I'm close to the Great White North. But we get... Yeah, okay, how-to videos. I like this statement. He said, Ed, if we allow vaccine passport, what will be next? And I agree 100%. It is absolutely about control. It is dictating to you what you can and cannot do, and that's not a free country. To have to have your papers. And these freaking people. I just saw somebody today on Facebook, and it was like the highlight. You know how you have like the picture and you highlight something, and the highlight was, I've had my shot. Who cares? Okay, I'm not sure how you say your first name, so I'm going to kind of spell this out. um, Larissa. I'm not sure. Alisurah, and I apologize. I'm going to butcher that first name, but your last name is Davis. I got that one. I went through the same situation. Thank you for sharing your story. Oh, thank you very much. I do appreciate that, and thank you very much for the donation as well. You know what? I'm always trying to be honest with things that have happened in my life. With sharing the foreclosure story that I share with you guys. I mean, that's not nothing that I'm proud of. It's something that happened. I was in a situation, and I had to do what I had to do that was going to be the betterment for myself and my family. Now, I know a lot of people, okay, would say, "Oh, well, you have that obligation." Well, you know what? How come then? Okay, and I want you guys to think about this. Anybody that's bought a house, when you buy a house, you get PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. So you pay for that while you're paying for your mortgage. And until you have 20% equity in your home, meaning you own better than 20% of your property, then PMI can come off. PMI is to protect the banks only, and you pay for it. You pay for it, not the bank. What the PMI does, if you default or don't pay your mortgage payment. Now, I want you guys to think about this, okay? And I want you to think about this. Tell me how fair this is, right? So you buy a house. Now, when you initially buy a house, there's all the closing costs and all the fees and everything that you put in. And a lot of times they will put them into your mortgage, or if you want to try to keep your payment down, you put up so much money up front, the whole 9 yards, right? And unless you own or when you're going to put down 20% towards the equity, you have to have PMI. So you get this PMI, you pay for it every month. And I think when I had it, it was like $71 a month, which was part of my mortgage payment that went towards that. Now, if you decide not to pay your mortgage, if you default, they will collect the full amount that is due with that insurance. That's what that insurance does. It makes sure that the bank gets paid their money. Then what the bank does, they foreclose on you, kick you out of the house, they get the house back, okay? They get the house back, and then they resell the house again. So the banks are never, if you think, oh my God, the banks are, they're really taking a beating with, the real estate market and they're hurting. And no, the banks always win. They always win. So don't ever feel sorry for the banks. I want you guys to think about this. Back in 2008 is when they did this too. If you had credit cards, you had some credit cards at very low interest rate, and then all of a sudden the banks came in and decided we're jacking up everybody's interest rate. So like I had cards that had 6% interest on them, right? 6%. And they went from 6% to either 18 or 24% interest rate. I don't want a card with 18 or 24% interest rate. I don't want to have to pay that kind of interest on something, okay? And so now, is that fair? No, it wasn't, but that's what they could do to anybody. The reason that they did it to me, I had paid down. I want to explain this story too really, really quickly. I had realized that I was in a financial situation where I needed to make things right, and I was trying to make things right. I had paid down $10,000 worth of credit card debt in 1 year. And then they came in and did what they were doing. So what I was doing was I was snowballing stuff. So I was paying minimum. Let's say I probably had it to, let's say I had 10 credit cards. So what I was doing is I was paying the minimum on 9 and hammering on 1. Okay. And so I had already paid 1 completely off. And then what you do is whatever you were hammering on that one plus your minimum payment, now you take that both and you put it on the next card. And it really does work really, really well and pretty fast. But when they change the interest rate on you and they go from that 5 and 6% interest to 18 to 24% interest, now you're getting really hammered with your interest and stuff like that. And they don't care and they can get away with that. And, it's absolutely... banks can foreclose, sell for less than what was owed, and still come out after you for balance. Yes, then they still can come after you. Yes, they can. Yep. Absolutely, they can. A lot of times they don't, though. Most of the time they don't. But anyway, so that's what they did. I gave them an opportunity. I contacted them and I had said, uh, put the interest rate back to where it was, or I'm not paying you another dime. And they were like, well, you ruin your credit. And I went, I don't care. Because to me, it was principle. Okay. And so they said, no, we're not. And so I stopped. And I ruined my credit. But the cool thing is that stays on your credit report for 10 years. After 10 years, guess what? Now you got good credit again. Okay. So right now I got like great credit again. But I defaulted on all those credit cards. Now, was that the right thing to do? Maybe not. But you're not going to screw me and have me smile and take it. Okay. It's not how I play. If we have a deal, and we're trying to be fair about stuff, that's fine. I'll try to do that obligation, especially with the credit cards. I wasn't trying to screw the credit card companies, but I wasn't going to get screwed either. So, but that's what I did, and so I defaulted on all that, and that was it. That was the end of the game. And but Jamie Lee said I thought it was 7 years. With the credit cards, I think it stays on for 10. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 10. Because I'll give you an example. When I bought my Harley, okay, bought my Harley in 2015. So that would have been, what, 7 years, 8 years after, no, 2008. Yeah, 7 years after I had done that. And my interest rate was ridiculous on my Harley. It was ridiculous. So what I did was when I went to go buy my new car a couple of years ago, now all of a sudden my credit score, I had no idea because I just didn't pay attention to it because I just took care of everything cash for the most part. But I had to have another car because my other car died. Basically, it wasn't working as well as it was. It was costing me too much, so I got rid of it. So I know, we're good time wise. I'm looking at the time. So what I did was when I went to go get my car, they were kissing my behind at the dealership, and I'm just like, wow, this is really weird. And when I went to go talk to the finance guy, and he told me what my credit score was, and I'll tell you, I don't care. I'll tell you what my credit score is. He goes, yeah, your credit score was 791. And I remember sitting in the chair going, they screw that up? Did they get somebody else's credit score? But the thing was, I had bought this building and I paid that off in my payments on that. I was paying on my bike every month in paying those payments. So all of a sudden now my credit score, and the time had gone by, enough time had gone by, my credit score was back up. Those things came off my credit report, so they're not there anymore. So now my credit score was really good again. So what I ended up doing, when I got my car, then I'm like, well, now I got the car interest rate for like 5% for the car. So, I'm like, cool. So then I said, well, listen, if my credit score is now that good, I'm going to refinance the bike because I was paying 18.5% interest on the bike. Okay. So it wasn't good. Okay. So what I did was went to a credit union, talked to them, ended up getting the loan for the bike, paid the bike off, and now I had it for them. It's 7% interest, which was a huge savings money wise. And then I ended up paying off the bike early anyway. I paid it off like 2 years early. So I was in a position to be able to do that. So I did that. So I wanted that payment gone. I didn't want to have, a bike payment and a car payment. So now I just have car payment. But, I've done it the absolute wrong way, if you will. I put myself in the situation that I was in. I'm never blaming anybody else. Okay. But when they come back and we have an agreement of, your interest rate is going to be this, and then they come back and say, now we're going to jack you up 3 times higher than it was before. I'm like, no, not playing. That's just me. I'm kind of bullheaded that way. It is smart to pay credit cards right now. Is it smart to? You know what? Like I said, it depends. I think getting rid of credit cards and paying them down, having credit is an important thing. Okay, I definitely want to say that because if you decide you want to buy a vehicle or if you want to buy a house, if you have bad credit, they're going to hammer you on the interest rate. So if you can put yourself in a situation where you're not in huge debt with your credit. That's really, really important. And that's just my take on it. I have credit cards again now, but I use them and manage them in a way where I am not like, oh my God, I'm paying interest every month, because I'm not. Okay. Basically, for me, what credit cards are now, it's a 30-day extension, is what they are. That's exactly what they are. If I go to Lowe's, I mean, their credit interest rate for Lowe's is like nuts. It's like 26 or 28%, some ridiculous thing. But if I say, yeah, I'm putting it on a card, if I buy something and I get 5% off my purchase, right? So I do that. And then when the bill comes in 30 days later, I just pay it off completely. There's no interest. So that's the way I do things now. So I smarter, more mature, looking at things differently. I use the credit cards to my advantage now. And it really does help your credit scores with having, that and stuff like that. So it's just being smart. That's what I try to do now. I've made a ton, guys. I've made a ton of mistakes, a ton of mistakes. I will never sit here and say that I haven't, but you learn. And like with Heather, I've talked, and I talk to Heather a lot, and trying to give her, better advice than I have, because it's like you can, like I said, life is much better when you're not a slave to the banks. You are absolutely correct, and that's a great statement. And discipline, absolutely, discipline is key too. Discipline is definitely key with having credit cards. It's real easy to go, oh man, I want this, or whatever. But if you're figuring it into your budget, and you figure, okay, I can put XYZ in the cards because when my pay comes in, I can take care of these things. That's being smart. That's being prudent. And again, it really does help your credit score, and it makes a big difference. Oh yeah, I use that too, Deborah. Yep, I definitely use that as well. But like I said, you have to be smart with stuff, and that's what I'm trying to do. As I get older and learned, like I said, everything that I have here at the homestead, I've paid for cash, because I don't want to be in debt. Like the building itself, when we got the building here, I did do that on a 3-year plan, and I paid that off early. It was only a couple months early, but it made a difference. I paid it off like 4 months early, and it basically eliminated 2 payments by paying it off early. But it's just, as opposed to having a 30-year mortgage, I had a 3-year mortgage. So, big difference. Like Becky and Mom, they're already up to, they've already made 11 payments on the house over here. Okay. So, they're 2 years and 1 month away from owning that scot free. And then they don't have she'll never have that payment again. She'll have a house to live in. She'll be able to do what she wants. And it makes all the difference in the world. How-to video. Ed, soon it will be vaxxed against the anti-vax, just like Democrats against Republicans. I see that coming too. They're trying to vilify anybody that won't do it. Like it is a huge manipulation. It is a huge game that is being played, unfortunately. Again, anybody can do whatever they want to do. I'm not telling you what you should do. I know what my decisions are. I've been very, very clear of what I plan on doing. I have been very, very clear about, what I have recommended to my family members, what they should do. And, again, so, yeah, and it's another form of dividing us. Exactly. And, and you are, labeled, if you're against it, that you're somehow bad, or you're like some kind of a lunatic and stuff like that. And the sheep will line up, and they'll get the so that's what they'll do, and they can go ahead and do it. Like I said, individual choices. You can do whatever you want to do. I just, once again, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, do your research. Definitely do your research. And also, why are we getting things when there's no liability? So, that's kind of where I'm at, with that thing. And I don't like the fact that they're trying to manipulate us all with this control mechanism, and you have to have your papers or your permission. I'm not asking permission for squat, and I'm not making Big Pharma rich either. Not doing it. So, like I said, it's a game. You can choose to play or not to play. I choose not to play. That's just kind of how I roll. So they have 4 to 5 year loans on purchasing a bed now. Really? That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you what, financially in this country, we are in huge, huge trouble because at some point, the bailouts are going to end. At some point, it's going to be time to put up or shut up. And if you have not got yourself squared away, if you have not put yourself in a position to be ready to deal with whatever comes down the pike, you're going to be in big trouble. I'm going to tell you, you're going to be in huge trouble. You know, if you can do it, if you have family that you trust and that you love and that you care about, if you can work together, with having Becky and Mom here, and I told her right from the very beginning, and I'm going to be 100% honest, okay? I had told her years ago, come here, put a house on my property, live here. Why are you paying a mortgage? You don't have to pay a mortgage. I charge my sister nothing because I don't want anything. I can take care of the taxes and all that type of stuff. I don't have a problem with that, okay? But that's my family, and I'm going to take care of my family. That's the bottom line to me, okay? And so, that's where I'm at with that. If I end up having more family members want to move up here, they can. Obviously, you guys know my other sister, Margie, may eventually be up here as well, so that's exactly why you need to be debt free. You will control your future. Yeah. I mean, it gives you a lot better options when you're not that slave, when you're not a slave to the system. And that's what we've all been. I've been there. I've been up to here in debt, trying to figure out how I'm going to swim and get above water. And it's just, and again, like I said, I'm not blaming anybody else. I did it to myself. When we lived in Charlotte, I was literally I'm trying to think how close we were to having that house paid off. We were in Charlotte for 6 years. My mortgage payment actually had just gone down because I just had gotten it. I had a 15-year mortgage on my house when I was there. I had just gotten it down to where I had 9 years to go, and my mortgage payment literally had just gone down. I had upgraded the furnace and air conditioning, and it was saving us a ton of money because I got something that was really efficient. We were in good shape, but the school system in Rochester sucked horribly. The city school district graduation rate of like 41 or 42%, that's the graduation rate. It's ridiculous. It's horrible. And, I didn't want my kids in that environment. They wanted to send Eddie. They wanted to send Eddie to Chili Avenue. And it was a part of Chili Avenue that is not a good part of Chili Avenue. In the school over there, where they put all the autistic kids in one school over there, in the school was 98% Black and Hispanic, okay? Which I could care less about that aspect of it, but this is what I did care about. And I told the lady on the phone, I said, listen, I'm not unrealistic to think that my son won't be teased because he has autism. I go, but why am I going to put him in an environment where he's going to get his butt kicked every day because he's white on top of it? And the lady said to me, oh, well, sir, that doesn't happen. And what I said to her was, I said, honey, and that's what I said. I called her honey. I said, honey, I might have been born at night. I go, but it wasn't last night. I know exactly how things go. I'm not stupid in any way, shape, or form. And he would have been brutalized in that environment. And so we were like, absolutely not happening. We were luckily enough because of their age. Actually, Heather started kindergarten at 4 because of where their birthday fell. And so we were able to hold Eddie back for another year. That's why we sold that house. That's why we moved to Greece, New York. I didn't want to live in Greece, New York. I actually liked, there's a town called Hilton. I liked it out there. I really liked the area. And my ex was like, no, we got to be in Greece, New York. It's got best schools for autism, yada, yada, yada. And so I relented and said, okay, well, it's, and then, so just so you know how everything ended up working out, I said, if we buy this house in Greece, you have to go back to work part-time to help me out because everything was going to be more expensive. The mortgage payment was going to be more. The, gas and electric was going to be more. Everything was going to be more. And she's like, oh, yeah. I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you. I lived in Greece for 8 years. And in that 8-year period of time, my ex-wife worked for 3 months. 3 months, she quit, and then that was it. And then it was all on me. Okay. So, yeah, I put myself in that situation. But when you expect your spouse to help and they don't help, that's a real kick in the, you know what. Okay. So, that was part of what happened as well in that situation. Not justifying anything. I'm the one that signed and said, yes, I'll do it. So, but I thought I was getting help. So, apparently not. So, but that's just how that goes. Real quick, guys, we're going to run over here, just so you know, too, because it's 9:16 already. We're going to definitely run over. So, because I'm just rolling here. I'm on a roll for whatever reason. But anyway, again, we're at 865 in the chat. I'm going to ask for another thumbs up if you haven't done so already. We're at 384 on a thumbs up. So please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel, and I would appreciate that. Also, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I would ask you to do it for that reason as well. It really does make a difference. It pushes us up higher, especially when YouTube continues to try to hold you back. It's part of the game as well, which I'm well aware of. Also, third reason I like to see a lot of thumbs up. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, but anyway, there's always a story behind everybody's life. Things happened. You end up doing what you have to do. I did what I had to do at the time. It ended up working out for me in the long run, way, way better. I got out of that situation, got out of that marriage, raised my kids, did the right thing. Heather's now in college. She's doing fantastic. Eddie is living with his mom, as I said earlier. And, hopefully we'll get to a point where I get to spend more time with him again, because I do miss him. He's a little snot, but I still love him. He's my kid. But I spend a lot of time. I try to spend time with Heather when I can. I know she's very busy with her life. That happens. That's what people do. They go on with their life. And but she always has a home to come back to, and that's important too. I think that's hugely important. So I try to just try to do what I need to do. But things are different. When I do anything here now, I pay cash. I don't put myself in a debt situation to do what I'm doing here. And so, that's where I'm at. But I'm always planning ahead. I'm thinking down the road, Eddie will be back home. So when I have my addition, built, it will definitely, in the process of there, I'll be thinking of, okay, there's definitely going to be a room for Eddie, because I do believe in time Eddie will be back with me. Okay. Would not surprise me at some point down the road that Heather ends up coming back, and that's fine. We'll deal with it. We'll make sure that everybody has a room and some place to stay. That's just how it goes. But that's just how I roll. Family is very, very important to me. And like I said, with having my mom and my sister here, they've been a huge help. Becky's cooking is fantastic. Becky's an awesome cook. Actually, she made lasagna today. So that was freaking awesome. Awesome. So, Ed, you're doing something right, because I really enjoy your channel. Billy the Kid Norwood said that. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know what? I'm trying to show people realistically, no matter where you come from, what background you come from. I don't come from any kind of money. None. None. When my dad died, there was nothing but debts. So I actually got contacted by the county after my dad died. And they were talking about, well, if there's anything with his estate. And there was no estate. He had nothing. He was a degenerate gambler. That's what my father was. So, it is what it is. So, yeah, it was just. But so anyway, I'm trying to show people that this is a possible lifestyle, that anybody really can do this. If you set your mind to it, and here's the biggest thing, you got to be willing to make sacrifices. Okay. If I had to, we ended up buying, if you guys remember, a lot of you do remember because you've been around for a long time. We started out here on the property in a 37-foot camper. That's what we started out with. When we moved out here, that's what we lived in, a 37-foot camper. And, we get some brutal winters up here in New York. And so then I had to deal with my cancer as soon as we got up here. And so that really threw a monkey wrench in our plans of what we wanted to do and everything else. So, but again, we made it work. We made it happen. And, it has been An incredibly fun journey, incredibly stressful at times, but really enjoyable. The one thing I would really want to share with anybody, especially if you have smaller children, okay, especially if you have smaller children, I really want you to please take this to heart. The one thing you can never ever get back is time, because time is going to go on. Your kids are going to grow up and they're going to be gone. The more time, quality time that you can spend with your children, and putting yourself in a position where you're able to spend that quality time with your children. Working all the time is not quality time with your children, because if you're working all the time, like I did for a long, long time, never saw my kids except for basically on Sunday. That was basically it. That was my one day off. I worked 6 days a week. I did 66 hours a week because I had a responsibility to take care of my family. Okay. But I lost so much of that time with them that it really, when I sat down and I thought about it. So I made sure that once I decided to make some changes in my life and stuff like that, that I would spend as much time with my kids, doing as much with them as I possibly could. That became a priority. And once you make that the priority, that's an important thing. To me, it is. But because again, so Patty Esha, that's my one regret. Because I'm going to tell you what, once they grow up and they're gone and they're off doing their own life, that's all you got anymore is those memories. And do you have positive things and you can think back of, we did this together, we did that, and those type of things. And where do you stand in your kids' eyes? It just like I said, it's just being able to be here, like when Heather was a senior, and taking her down to the bus stop every day, and doing the different things, and to be able to go to everything that she had going on. There's nothing like that. To be able to go on vacation and take the kids on vacation to Myrtle Beach or wherever we were going to go, that was a blessing. To me, it was a blessing. And I'm very, very fortunate that I was able to do that. At least I woke up in time. So anybody out there, if you have kids, prioritize, because I'm going to tell you what, the time is going to fly by. You may not think so, but I look at it now. My kids are going to be 20 this year. And I just go, where did that time go? A lot of the people that I went to high school with are grandparents. Okay, their kids are grown and they're grandparents now. And that's why a lot of times people really dote a lot on the grandkids, because they weren't able to with their own kids, but they spend a lot more time with the grandkids and stuff like that. Not everybody, but a lot of them do. So anyway, yeah, right. Happy homesteader, spending time with loved ones is yep, exactly. Spending that time being able to do things. When Mom, Becky, and I get out here and we're working on things, we laugh, we joke, we have a good time. There is no, oh my God, we got to rush, we got to get this done because we don't have time. We got time. So that's a cool thing too. So anyway, let's do this right now. Okay. Same deal with your parents. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you what, and I think about this. I want to mention this really quick. Hey, Lane Johnson, Ed, you are living the dream. I will also be when I find some land in Kansas close to work. That's cool. Absolutely. Make it happen. And thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm very, very blessed. I will always say that. I'll say it over and over again. I am very blessed. I'm very fortunate to be able to do what I do. And I'm very, very lucky on that. So, but I was going to say this real quick. Like with my mom. My mom's 77. Realistically, how much time does she have left? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you what, having her here and being able to spend time with her and talk with her and joke and laugh and bust her chops about drinking beer, it's fun. And that's what it should be. So anyway, let's do this right now. We are Legion because we are money. Or money. We are money. We are many. I don't know where that came from. We are Legion because we are many. We're all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? And in the meantime, let's jump up those thumbs up, guys, too. If you haven't done it yet, let's hit that again. Ontario, Canada. Paddock, Kentucky, Indiana. I probably said it wrong. I apologize. Dayton, Ohio, Kansas, Houston, Florida, Montreal, Canada, Connecticut, Paris, Texas, Pittsburgh, PA, Kansas, Texas, Cape Cod, Long Island, New Mexico, Eastern Oregon, Gatlin, Pennsylvania, BC, Canada, Oklahoma, We have Montana, Kentucky again, Las Vegas, Nevada, Oregon, Newfoundland, Beech Grove, Indiana, BC, Canada, Texas, Watertown, New York, Oxford, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Colorado, Albion, Nebraska. We have Minnesota, Central Pennsylvania, South Australia. We have Alabama, just went by, Ulster Park, New York. We have Scotland, Motherwell, Scotland, Nowhere, Oklahoma, still my favorite name. Minnesota, Arkansas, Sullivan, Indiana, St. Louis, Missouri, Miami, Florida, Kansas, Staten Island, New Jersey, Motherwell, Scotland again, Mesa, Arizona, Ocala, Florida, Eastern Tennessee, Madisonville, Texas, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Webster, New York, Utah, Virginia, Washington, Ohio, Missouri, Maryland. We have Minnesota, San Pablo, Brazil, very nice, Connecticut, Columbus, Ohio, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, Port Austin, Michigan, Huntington, Massachusetts, Paris, Texas, California, Western North Carolina. So again, guys, all over the country, all over the world, we're a huge network of people, a huge family. Like I said, again, with getting organized, if we do that, no stopping us. We have a lot of power and a lot of strength with that because of the fact that we are also prepared for what is coming. Makes all the difference in the world as well. The other thing I want to mention, a couple of channels really quickly. Marfugal News obviously is one of them out in Seattle. I definitely recommend you follow his channel. The Angry Prepper down in New York City. And when you go, give him some love. Tell him Prepper Nurse One sent you. Also, I like Sean James with My Self-Reliance up in Canada. Awesome, awesome channel. Also, Ickycan, Ickycan up in Canada as well. Bizariza Jizza down here. He's in Rochester, New York. And he has a really good channel as well. Again, Wrangle Star, like his channel. Doug and Stacy, I like their channel. There's a lot of great channels out there. Alaskan Prepper would be another one. Magic Prepper is another one. So a lot of great channels out there, guys. A lot of good information. Watching these people do the different things. Sean James is amazing. He is amazing what he does. Just unbelievable. And he still gets hate, which is just unbelievable because he doesn't do any kind of politics at all. But you're always going to find people that are going to hate you no matter what. So that's unfortunately what we have to deal with as YouTubers. But there's some really, really good channels out there. Definitely recommend you check those guys out. Show them some support. Southern Prepper One is another one that I can think of off the top of my head as well. So definitely, get out there, show them some support, and do that. I want to thank my moderators for doing a great job keeping the chat clean. Thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. It really does mean a lot to me. Also, thank all of you for being here. I do appreciate you guys being here and the support that you give me on the channel. It really makes a difference as well. Also, guys, remember, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. We're one race called the human race, and if we could ever get to that point where we can realize that and stop letting them manipulate us with race, religion, and all that other nonsense, political parties and all this other stuff, anything that they can do to divide us, they're doing it, okay? So let's not let them play that game with us. Also remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that you care about every single day how you feel. And last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that can stopping you from reaching those goals is you, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you can get there. Believe me, if I can do what I've done here, you guys can do it too. I know you can. You just got to set your mind at it, be willing to make sacrifices, work hard, and make it happen. And it is absolutely doable, okay? I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night. Tomorrow, April 1st, right? April Fool's Day. Very funny. So I'm curious to see what happens then with people saying. I'll see you all later. Prepper Nurse One, out for now.